Jeddah is known as the Bride of the Red Sea. I have just one day to explore Saudi Arabia's capital of culture, so I'm going to be wandering the streets of Balad and also discovering the wonders of the famous Corniche. So join me for the perfect day in Jeddah. My day begins at Jeddah Airport and its brand new stylish Terminal 1. As Jeddah opens up to the world, this is the perfect gateway. From there, I head straight for the historic UNESCO district of Balad. Behind me is the Gate of Jeddah. Now this was originally on the waterfront and welcomed all of the pilgrims that arrived by sea, heading for Medina and Mecca. Of course, it originally formed part of the walls, but these sadly are no more. Even without the mighty walls that once surrounded it, it's still an impressive sight today. Most of Jeddah's walls were torn down in the 1940s, which is a real shame because historical accounts tell us that the earliest parts of the walls date to the 10th century. With the oil boom of the 1970s and 80s, Jeddah rapidly expanded northwards and the historic district emptied and fell into disrepair. It could easily have fallen victim to property developers, but it's to the credit of the city's authorities that that didn't happen, and great effort was put into restoring the historic city and bringing it back to life, creating what is now one of the most beautiful historic districts in the whole of the Middle East. Given the vast amount of historic buildings here, it's not surprising that some of them are still in need of extensive renovation. But given the amount of investment that's being poured in all around this district, you can bet that in 5 or 10 years it will all look pristine. I've reached the absolutely iconic Mecca gate. So the pilgrims would stock up on supplies and then leave Jeddah at this point, bound for Islam's holiest city, out there across the desert. Or at least it was in those days. Perhaps the best way to enjoy Balad is to wander aimlessly around the labyrinth and just see what you find. Although bear in mind that it's late November, early on a Friday morning, and it's already 32 degrees. And this is not some museum district, simply preserved for tourists. It's a living, breathing neighbourhood. Well, it took me a while, but I finally located the Nasif house, the most famous mansion in the city, and probably one of the most photographed buildings in Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately for me though, closed currently for renovations. Close to the Nasif house, Zawiya 97 is a cultural initiative aimed at keeping alive the arts and crafts that formed this district. Dating back to the late 17th century, the Al Ma'amah Mosque is one of the jewels of the old city. If you want to have the place to yourself, then Friday morning is definitely the time to come. Things will be very different when I come back here this evening. Jeddah's population is approaching 5 million. And the city covers a vast area. It's mostly a low-rise urban landscape, very different to say Doha or Dubai, which came as a surprise to me. It's easy to catch a cab, which is just as well, as the distance from Balad to the top of the Corniche is around 30 kilometres. If you attempt it in rush hour, you'll see exactly why Jeddah would really benefit from a metro system. Maybe that's for the future. Now, you may not normally like miles, but in the blazing Jeddah sunshine, let me tell you that a dose of air conditioning is absolutely essential from time to time, and thankfully there are plenty to choose from. Jeddah is renowned for its public artworks, and this is one of my favourites, the Magic Carpet Roundabout. Now, the Jeddah Sculptures website says that the artist is unknown, which is surprising because this is not a sculpture that you could just rapidly put up overnight. I guess the artist just wants to remain anonymous. Jeddah's high-rise hotels and apartment blocks are here on the famous Corniche, which of course now hosts the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. With its palm-shaded promenade and long, pristine sandy beach, this is made for sun worshippers. But of course, this is Saudi Arabia. Will these deserted sands look like Bondi Beach in 10 years' time? I doubt it, but such is the pace of change here that nothing is impossible. The last time a member of my family saw the Red Sea, it was my grandfather during the Second World War. I'm pleased to say my experience is very different to his. I'm melting in the heat, so ice cream is the only answer. This is the Mecca mix, which is every flavour they've got, 7 flavours in one. Now, a less spiritual but no less popular sight along the Corniche is the Jeddah sign. It's obligatory to have your photo taken here. So as the sun dips towards the Red Sea, I'm going to catch a cab back to Balad to see if it's come to life. Well, it's going to get very lively here this evening. This is a card tournament played in front of a live audience. On the way here in the taxi, I was thinking, I really hope I see some live music. Well, I got lucky. Any day that includes watermelon juice has got a good chance of being a perfect day. I really wanted to peek inside one of these historic houses, and at the Hejaz Museum and coffee shop you can, together with a fruit juice and some traditional date cake. What more could you want? Saudi Arabia aims to make tourism its second highest revenue stream by 2030. The challenge will be to make sure that districts like Al Balad don't become overwhelmed by tourism and thereby lose their character. If you can, I'd recommend coming now. This morning was all about the buildings. This evening, it's definitely all about the people. I've had a great day in Jeddah. If you've enjoyed it too, then please subscribe to the channel, click notifications, and I'll see you on the next journey.